Hello everyone, Joseph Mazzulo here, and I'm here to tell you and to comment on the Supreme Court says Maine cannot deny tuition aid to religious schools, which is another nonsense decision. Whatever happened to church and state, right? This is a piece of paper. The Constitution for them is just a piece of paper, so they don't need to obey it. That's why I always say that the system is archaic and it's corrosive and it's not going to last. It's just going to go downhill. There might be a couple rebounds here and there, but you saw what happened in ancient Rome. You saw what happened in Egypt. Well, it doesn't last forever because we don't have the system of governance that we should have, which would be eternal, which would have those actual checks and balances, not a piece of paper, which does nothing, literally nothing. So we got the Supreme Court on Tuesday extended a streak of victories for the moron interests. This is why education in this country is in the bottom of the list, bottom of the barrel, when it comes to comparing with all the first economies of the world. The United States is consistently last in education, and this is the kind of stuff. This is not the reason why, but this is definitely an effect of why that is so. That's a whole different issue, right? All the religious zealots from Europe got kicked out and they came over to United States. Well, it wasn't United States then, and that's why the USA is very much more religious than Europe and other countries and other places. Um, so they struck down a Maine tuition program that does not allow public funds to go to schools that promote religious instruction. Now that's nonsense, because religion is nonsense. Organized religion is nonsense. That's why you have priests who abuse children, because they utilize the power structures to get their way. they Anybody could say they're following Christ or following whoever. They're nothing but fallible people, men, women, whatever. So the vote was 6-3. Chief Justice John Jackass Jr. writing for the majority, and the court's 3 liberals in dissent. Now, I'm not liberal, okay? I'm beyond that. I'm beyond conservative liberal. I see right and wrong. The education system needs a whole overhaul, entire overhaul, so that we can become the best in the world. Actually, the world should have the best system. It shouldn't just be limited to one country or another. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way. There's not, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. There needs to be a scientific basis to how children are educated. Now, kids, especially my kids, are bored with school. They can't wait to get out of there. Is that normal? Well, it's definitely normal. Is that correct? Schools actually destroy the inner spirit, the thoughtfulness, the inspirations of children, because it denies them what they're truly interested in, gives them something they need to test out of and then move on to something else. It's just an assembly line of bullshit, to say the least. But this is just another effect of the lack of education people in this country. So under the program, jurisdictions in rural areas too sparsely populated to support secondary schools. Well, they made a typo here. Very bad newspaper. Of their own can arrange to have nearby schools teach their school-age children, or the state will pay tuition to parents to send their kids to private school. But those schools must be nonsectarian, meaning they cannot promote a faith or belief system or teach through the lens of the faith, in the words of the state's Department of Education. Okay, so that's basically it. What else could we say? It just goes to support the notion, the truth, that Supreme Court needs to be liquidated. Education system needs to be liquidated, and structured in a way where students are going to be happy to go to school. Students are going to be looking forward to it. They're going to be smarter. They're going to be more involved, because that's what school should be, customized for each individual, as opposed to just, like I said before, assembly line of bullshit, which of what it is now. We got a lot of comments on here. Well, I'm not surprised about that. Given the personal background of the judges on this South Carolina, on the SC Supreme Court, the Supreme Court decisions are simply personal opinions about the law. Hence, split decisions, or more obviously, instances of where there is agreement within the decision, but for very different reasons, aka opinions. That's why they say they represent the the, the the Constitution, but it's really just a personal interpretation of what they believe is correct. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It needs to be eradicated. Okay. Um, Sometimes radical things are the most logical action. Then they better start paying taxes if they want in on the benefits. So we got a lot of people talking about this. Blame the GOP for dumbing down America. Well, America started as a bunch of religious zealots who came over here, and so that we got started, like the rest of the world evolved from being so religious. That's why they're not as religious in Europe. While the United States began, we're still before the Renaissance. If you want to go to the truth of the matter, Europe became very religious after Christianity spread all over Europe in the early ADs. So like the first couple hundred years, and what it take 1,500 years for Europe to break free of the chains of religious nonsense. So it's not easy, but it's definitely a worthwhile matter. Yeah, the activist Christian thugs have struck another blow against the Constitution's uh, Establishment Clause. Thomas Jefferson must be spinning in his casket. I'm thinking he's not doing much these days. Yeah, so we get the gist here. People who are religious are gonna be like, but literally, why do you need religion in a school atmosphere? Like, you're there to learn about skills that will help you. Reading, writing, those are important. Basic arithmetic. so you can interact. Social skills, that's one thing they should teach. They should teach emotional intelligence. That's a big one. Huge one, which they don't do. They should teach actual skills that will benefit you, that gear toward the individual. Something they don't do as well. Everybody learns the same damn thing, or they go out and play tag, whatever. So it's one of those things where we need to get rid of it. Basically, that is the solution, and that's just the way it is right now. So this is not the purpose of education. This is the wrong purpose, the wrong president. Okay, but there's a way forward. You just got to work together to get there. We need to come together, change things, because listen, there's a lot of people in the GOP, and I voted. The only time I voted was in the GOP for Ron Paul a long time ago. So I agree with a lot of the economic issues. Do make sense. Not all of it. Not all of it. Definitely not all of it. Because there's no reason why anybody should be starving, why anybody should be without a home, without whatever, what have you. But they got people in there who are fighting for corruption. So it's gonna be difficult, but it's a worthwhile fight. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what you think about this court issue here. And peace out.